baby! It's a doubleheader on a Thursday where once again we take a look back at midweek must-see matches for the week. And also, following this rant, a very, very quick look back at this day in wrestling, August 3rd. There is not a lot to cover on this day in wrestling. In fact, it may be one of the shortest days in wrestling rants we'll ever do. Coming up right after this. But let's get into it. Midweek must-see matches. This covers July 27th all the way to August 3rd, or August 2nd, as a matter of fact. So let's get into the list. This includes everything from the G-1 climax, everything from the weekly TV. One thing I will refrain from, because I'm going to separate it and kind of go week to week with Impact TV, but everything from Chicago, the shows that I attended this past weekend, I will not have on this list of midweek must-see matches. I'm going to leave that to each and every week on Impact, where we'll talk about it on the list. What matches from those tapings stood out and which week those matches stood out on. So that will not be on this list. I did talk a little bit in the Mega Rant on Monday, coming back from Chicago, that there's definitely, particularly on the Saturday taping on the 29th, there was a bunch of great matches that I think are going to be worth checking out about 2 weeks from now on Impact TV. So stay tuned for that for sure. Let's get into the list though, starting with Thursday, July 27th. There was a few things to note, particularly from Impact and particularly from the G-1 Climax tournament that keeps on keeping on. It's getting close after this weekend. The regular round-robin action will conclude, and then we'll move into the tournament. The single elimination tournament format after that. So just a heads up on that for everybody. In fact, probably I'm thinking on Tuesday of next week we'll do a special top 10 takes, taking a look back at all of those G1 single round-robin matches and which ones were the best of the bunch. Keep in mind we also had another list prior, so it will cover pretty much from the 5th night all the way till that final, I think it'll be the 13th or 14th night of action. So be on the lookout for that coming up on Tuesday. Where incidentally, a lot of the matches that we're talking about here on midweek must-see matches will probably be on that list, at least some of them. So one of the matches, actually a few of them, actually 3 of them on Thursday the 27th of note that I think are really worth checking out from the G1. First and foremost, a match that certainly was not a long match or a endurance match in the ring, but ELP and Kenta in the G1 had one hell of an interesting match that essentially was wild brawling in the ring. They get in the ring, the bell finally rings, and then something like 20 seconds later is the finish. But it's so unique, you gotta check it out. ELP and Kenta from the 27th in the G1. Also, that same event, Kaito Kiyomiya against Gabe Kidd. Man, Gabe Kidd, I don't know if a lot of people are really familiar with his work, but he recently turned heel, joined the Bullet Club, and this guy is shining in the G1. His gimmick appears to be mostly attacking his competitors before the match and kind of getting an upper hand in that level, but it really has made an interesting dynamic for his push in the G1 and his persona, his performance, whatever you want to call it. It's impressive. I like the way they're booking Gabe Kidd, and this match with Kiyomiya was no exception. This was a solid, very solid match. Then the main event from last Thursday was Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada, and yet another classic with these guys. Most certainly probably not the best match they ever had, but still way up there in quality. Also on Impact Wrestling on the 27th, one match that stood out to me was Zachary Wentz against Speedball Mike Bailey. So check that out last week on Impact if you didn't get a chance. Also, as a kind of a heads up, in the next few weeks on Impact Wrestling, and might be even tonight, I'm going to watch Impact right after I do these rants, but the Rascals and Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Mike Bailey, check that match out. That's either tonight on Impact or it'll be the following weekend, or following Thursday, excuse me. Friday the 28th, I have to be honest, I don't think there was anything on either SmackDown or Rampage that was must-see. I think the Santos Escobar Rey Mysterio match was starting to pick up in that direction, but the injury happened to Rey Mysterio, and that just killed the match completely, unfortunately. So really nothing to talk about on the 28th, unfortunately. 29th, though, particularly with Collision, which I think had 3 really standout matches, and quite honestly, I think Collision was the show of the week, even counting the 200th episode of Dynamite that we just saw last night. Andrade and Buddy Matthews in that ladder match to kick off Collision was a doozy. I think you can actually see it playing right behind me here. What a match that was. Also of note, the Darby Allin Minoru Suzuki bout, which was out of nowhere, not even booked ahead of time. Kind of a surprise shock in the way that show was booked, but I loved it. And then the main event, FTR against Adam Cole and MJF. Very, very, very solid tag title match. And FTR is just bringing it, I tell you. All right, Sunday the 30th. One match to note. This was once again from the G-1 Climax Tournament. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Hiroki Goto. I tell you, these guys have had a long-standing run in New Japan, both, and 2 kind of really notable names in this tournament from a long-standing, I mean, they have worked a long time in the G1 Climax together in the matches. They've been in many G1 Climax tournaments, so 2 legends of the G1 here. And I thought the selling in this match particularly was just awesome. Awesome stuff. Tanahashi and Hiroki Goto from the 30th of July in the G1. How about the 31st? This was Monday Night Raw. I thought one match, probably the best match on the show, was Chad Gable and Gunther. The booking was a little weird with the 5-minute thing, and then Gunther wants more time in the match. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed this. I thought Gable looked really good in there with Gunther. Just an overall highlight of Monday Night Raw, no doubt. Tuesday, the 1st of August, NXT I really didn't think had anything of must-see value. But once again, we roll back to the G1 in Japan. A couple matches to note on this G1 event. Sonata and Gabe Kidd tore it up. Man, once again, Gabe Kidd, maybe the MVP of the week, possibly. And then Shota Umino and Yota Tsuji. Damn, this was good shit all around on that one. Going to Wednesday the 2nd, we have another G1 match. This is on, this would be, I believe, night 12? Perhaps 11? I can't keep up with them. Whatever the case, the G1 event from August 2nd, Tetsuya Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. had a very, very enjoyable match. That was the highlight of that G1 on that particular evening. And then we get into Dynamite's 200th episode. A couple matches I thought stood out. The Ring of Honor tag titles. Aussie Open, El Vecchino, and Commander. That was a solid match for sure. And then the main event, which saw a title change where Hikaru Shida defeated Toni Storm. The match itself was kind of nothing to shake a stick at, but with the title switch and hopefully some different direction in the women's division, this is a signal to it, I hope. We'll see where they go with All In with the women, but as we have it now, a new AEW champion, Hikaru Shida. And that is it for Midweek Must See Matches. Come on back for extra spectating right here